Good morning. Good morning. It's time to rise and receive. Welcome to your morning send off designed to support you in receiving what you most want by unlearning struggle. So, today we're going to talk about how to dissolve your glass ceiling. So, if you have an upper limit that you are hitting in your life, and I'd like you to take a moment if you're among those that are just settling in and arriving early, think about an area of your life where you might be hitting an upper limit. In other words, maybe you have a goal that you've been, thinking about and working towards, and you've made progress, but you can only get so far. And it can be any area of your life. It could be, most people think about glass ceilings a lot in their professional lives, especially in corporate America. But think about maybe it is with your job. You've gone only so far. You can only get so far and you can't get beyond it. Maybe you have a money glass ceiling. Like no matter what job you get, you can only earn so much money. Maybe you have a glass ceiling around relationships. So, I've had certainly plenty of clients that come to me saying, I really want to manifest a satisfying romantic relationship. I date and I read books and I look at YouTube channels, and no matter what I do, I seem to only get just so far in the romantic relationship department. Sometimes people literally can only have a relationship that goes like they might go up to a year, and that's their upper limit with relationships. Or maybe they only get asked out on so many dates, or things go good for a while and then people disappear. So upper limits or glass ceilings can show up in any area of life. So for those of you who are joining me, Colette just let me know that the audio was a little late in starting. So what we're talking about today is how to dissolve your glass ceiling. And I'm inviting you to think about, where do you have an upper limit? I talked about maybe work, maybe money, maybe relationships. Body is another one. Whether you have body goals, losing weight, getting stronger, working out, changing your eating habits, you can only go so far. So let yourself think about that as you listen to today's Rise and Receive. And I think you'll find some really good stuff here today. If you don't know me, my name is Sonia Miller. I'm a speaker, coach, and best-selling author, and I am passionate about teaching people the skill set of receiving, because receiving is its own skill set, and it's rooted in what I call the being model of power. Most people have no idea how being could be powerful, let alone what exactly being is. Most of us are very well versed and well practiced in what I call the doing model of power. And doing involves a whole lot of thinking, a whole lot of problem solving, and a whole lot of action, a lot of planning, pursuit, hunting. So the two symbols that I use when I talk about these two models of power are the majestic tree, which is the embodiment of the being model of power, receives all day long by doing nothing, by examining nothing, and yet continues to grow and flourish and have offerings for life all around and spreads across the land, and it really hunts nothing. And then there's the hunter, which really uses the mind and action and tools and pursuit and hunting to manifest and to be powerful. Both are an essential skill set, and yet most of us don't have a balance of both. So what happens is we know how to do, we don't know how to be, and so we over rely on doing. And the cost of that is two things. One is the doing model of power has built-in limits. You can only go so far with the doing model of power. The other thing is that when you over rely on doing, it's exhausting, because you are relying on what you know in your mind and what you can do with your action. And there's a whole other wellspring of resources and support that goes beyond what you know and beyond what you can do, and that is in the realm of being. So what I do each day here is I pull one card from my brand new Receive card deck, and each card illuminates a receiving principle, and I will use that as a inspiration for today's message. I will give you a willingness mantra that you can take into your day, and that willingness mantra activates the power of invitation. Invitation is the heart and soul of the being model of power. That's what the tree does. It's simply the embodiment of invitation. And intention is the doing model of power. And that's what the hunter does. The hunter has an intention and goes after its target. So willingness is one of the most powerful ways to invite more and better than you could ever know. And after that, I'll unpack this concept around dissolving your glass ceiling even further. So for today, the card that I pulled is this: soothe your need to know. And this comes from the Receive Soothing suit of the Receive card deck. Now, I'm not going to read the whole card because I already did a whole video on this, but I will include a link so that if you really like today's topic, you can do a deeper dive into Soothe Your Need to Know. But I will read the first part as an excerpt and we'll take it from there. So just sit back and I invite you to close your eyes if you like. It really allows the words to go in deeper. It's up to you though. All right. Soothe your need to know. You can relate to the unknown with fear and distress, or you can relate to the unknown with wonder and curiosity. When you try to soothe your fear and distress about the unknown by attempting to know something you cannot know, you will struggle. Your mind will think, if I can only figure this out, if I can find the right answer, if I could look into a crystal ball and see the future, then I'd feel safe. But because the unknown is unknowable, your struggle will persist. And your capacity to receive will be limited to what your mind can know. So that's going to be the excerpt for today. And here is the mantra that you can take into your life. So if you are struggling with the need to know something that is unknowable, as we go further, if you see how this relates to dissolving your glass ceiling, anytime you find yourself wanting to know something, wanting to figure out, caught up in that gerbil wheel, or even if you're feeling anxiety because you're trying to anticipate something that's absolutely unknowable, stop, notice, and use this willingness mantra. I am willing to find safety in the unknown because what I know is limited at best. I am willing to find safety in the unknown because what I know is limited at best. So the willingness mantra is powerful because it puts your attention on something much more productive and useful when you don't know than more of the struggle of not knowing. Okay. Now, one of the things there's a couple things that continues to fuel or feed the gerbil wheel, where when we don't know and we're still trying to figure out. One is it's a habit. It's the monkey mind. It's what the mind does. The mind, by definition, is a problem seeker and a problem solver. Okay, so that's just a habitual thing. That's why in the being model of power, awareness is the key to everything. The more we can become aware that we're lost in circling thoughts and notice and stop, now you're exercising the power of being through sheer awareness. Okay. The other thing that fuels the need to know is that at a very deep level, and it's completely unconscious, we believe that knowing, because it's control, is safe, and not knowing is not safe. It's the most human thing in the world. Everyone operates from that place to one degree or another. So we don't want to not know. It feels threatening. It feels scary. So we'll just keep trying to figure it out in search of safety. But when you become willing to find safety in the unknown, even if you have no idea how, your mere willingness invites the expansion of your understanding to start to connect with how it is that you can actually feel and be safe in the unknown. And that the deepest truth is that the unknown is actually not only safe, but it is the ground that invites infinite possibilities. So that's your willingness mantra for the day. Now, let me unpack this a little bit more about how to dissolve your glass ceiling. So when I say glass ceiling, again, it's whatever upper limit you are hitting in any area of life. So the first thing to know is that the producing an outcome that you want, going beyond what you know, is really a very simple mathematical equation. Being plus doing equals outcome. How you are being and what you are doing is producing an outcome. So if you have a limit in terms of the results you're producing in your life, it is the direct product of how you're being and what you're doing, which means that if you want to change the outcome, you have to change how you're being and what you're doing. It's that simple. Now, most people, what's very human to do is, even if we know we have to change how we're being and what we're doing, we will still look for that change within the realm of what we know. So let's say you know that you have to change something, but what you know is to research here and research here and research here and use the internet or talk to people, but you're still approaching it from something that you know. You're in a place of familiarity. Okay, now, if you keep doing what you know, you're going to get more of what you know. Now, the 3 words that open up the realm of dissolving your upper limits is when you finally get to the point that you are saying, I don't know. Like you've actually accepted that you've hit the limit. You've hit the limit of what you can do on your own, of what you can figure out on your own, of what you can figure out with your mind. So the doing model of power is inherently limited, okay? It is limited to what you can know in your mind, what the hunter can identify as a target, as a concept. I have this target, it looks like this, I want that, and they can see it on the horizon. And this is how I'm gonna go pursue it, right? So that's as far as you can go. It's great. But what about when you want to go beyond? When you finally get to those 3 magic words, I don't know. I'm done. I'm out. I don't know, right? You finally get to that place. What happens in your being, so back to being and doing, in your being is that there's an energy of surrender, of letting go. And the most important part is there's a space now inside of your whole being that opens up and you are able to receive something new, something beyond what you know. Space is the invitation. But until you get to I don't know, the space of you, the space in which you receive insights, possibilities, opportunities, manifestations, information, that space is completely filled up with problem solving and what you know and problem solving and what you know. You have to have a space in which to receive. Space is everything. It's the non-negotiable for receiving. So as I always say, you are receiving all day long. The question is not, how do I receive? The question is, what am I receiving? If you are problem solving with what you know, you're going to receive problem solving and what you know. But when you get to, I don't know, and the problem solving stops because you just surrender, a space opens up. Space is the invitation. And you can now, automatically, you start to receive insights and awarenesses. This is why so often when you have people who are problem solving, and they just walk away, or they say, you know what, I'm just going to sleep on it. I'm done. Forget it. I'm done. And they go to bed and they wake up in the morning and all of a sudden, an aha comes in. Why? Because they stopped problem solving. The problem solving rested. The space opened up. Poof. Now you can receive something new. Okay. So receiving, the skill set of receiving is the key to dissolving your upper limits, is the key to dissolving your glass ceiling. You must be willing to not know. You must be willing to explore being as a model of power beyond what you can do. And I've done this in a couple other videos, but the actual method of receiving is incredibly simple. A-L-I. A is awareness. L is let it be here, which is what letting go and surrender is about. And I is invitation, invite more or better. So I hope that this has sparked a newfound curiosity and a willingness to discover the safety and the power of not knowing, and of then becoming an invitation for insights beyond what your mind can know. And that it inspires you to actually know now that you actually can dissolve your glass ceilings. It just means you have an opportunity to go beyond how you've always approached your glass ceilings and be willing to not know and receive the kindness of life in the form of insights, wisdom, and inspiration. So I hope you have a great day. And if you'd like to explore more about receiving, I'll include, as always, 2 resources. You can sign up for the early bird list to get your own Receive card deck at receivecarddeck.com, which illuminates 56 receiving principles. It's coming out very soon. And if you'd like to be guided day by day, 30 days, 15 minutes a day to really understand the power of space by creating 15 minutes a day of space for you and really becoming best friends with spaciousness as the way to receive beyond your upper limits, go to receivechallenge.com. The program is called Start Receiving Now 30-Day Challenge. You'll get 1 email from me every day for 30 days, and I will guide you step by step in tapping into the power of space. Have a great day. Please like, please share, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. It helps me reach the people I'm here to serve, and I'll see you at the next Rise and Receive. Bye, everybody.